This was some time ago, but do you remember this?
Oh my god.
Put your hands behind your back now. Put your hands behind your back now. Get your hands behind your back now.
I did make a video about this, including the amount of times Ziggy Desmond Mombeyarara was tased. I'll just call him Ziggy. Was tased by the trigger happy cop, but back then I didn't tag my videos as well as I do now, and although I have looked, I can't find a specific video, as I've used to do multiple reports in a single video. But the Independent Office for Police Conduct launched an investigation after Ziggy's solicitors initiated a civil action against Greater Manchester Police's Chief Constable Stephen Watson after Ziggy went on trial at Manchester and Salford Magistrates Court in April last year and was handed an 18-month conditional discharge after being found guilty of obstructing two police officers. Obstructing what? Their barbs, their taser barbs. The two constables, of course, got off scot-free. Yesterday, the IOPC published its final report and statutory learning from the investigation. The report made recommendations to Greater Manchester Police, which seems to have led to new training throughout England and Wales regarding taser use. Although, to be fair, all this is going to do is force police to change their excuses for pulling the trigger and won't actually stop people getting tased because a fat plod doesn't want to have to run after someone. Which, by the way, is not what tasers are for. Now, although the report has forced apparent widespread changes, the IOPC say the two police constables at the scene, PC Stephen Belizna and PC Anthony Hanna, did not act in a way that justifies disciplinary proceedings or commit a criminal offence. Of course, it's clear they acted entirely proportionate, and if I can find my video of it, I'll put it up at some point and show you how they tased him about 7 times. The recommendations made by the IOPC...
I have the difficulty formulating my words.
The recommendations made by the IOPC report are: the College of Policing should amend national training for officers equipped with taser to include considerations when a child is present. Greater Manchester Police should review its taser policy to provide clearer publicly available guidance on when the devices may be used. Greater Manchester Police should update local taser training for officers to include consideration for situations where a child is present. Greater Manchester Police should update its taser policy to make clear when it might be appropriate to use the devices when a flammable substance is nearby. Greater Manchester Police should take steps to ensure officers' decision-making and policing responses is not being unreasonably impacted by stereotypical assumptions about the strength and threat posed by individuals from a black, Asian or minority ethnic background. Yeah, seriously, they're suggesting that there's a stereotypical assumption about the strength of black, Asian and minority people. Now, I can't say I've ever made such an assumption, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure there are just the same as the rest of us honkies. Some are tougher than others, some are weaker than others. In fact, the only stereotypical assumption I know people make is that they have big feet. They have big feet. Although I bet someone takes that as me being racist in some way without realising that it was in fact a joke. I can't believe I've got to explain myself sometimes. In a statement, the IOPC said, our investigation, which concluded in May 2021, looked at 9 complaints made by the man regarding the actions of officers during and after the arrest. We examined the use of force by the officers and whether the man had been treated less favourably because he is black. During our investigation, we identified learning for the individual officers of the force. While the evidence did not indicate the man had been treated less favourably due to his race, we did find learning for the officers regarding frequent references to the person's strength or size when justifying use of force as this can align to commonly held stereotypes that increase the likelihood of force being used against black men. We obtained statements from the officers involved and an eyewitness and examined footage from the officers' body-worn video, CCTV and social media. We also consulted an expert in the use of Taser for their opinion on the tactics used. You mean like using a Taser at a fucking petrol station? The evidence did not suggest that an officer may have acted in a way that justified disciplinary proceedings or committed a criminal offence. When assessing the complaints, we found the service provided by Greater Manchester Police to be acceptable. IOPC Regional Word Salader Amanda Rowe said the public are understandably concerned about how and when tasers are used by the police. This was highlighted in this incident, which was deeply distressing to those involved and caused significant concern within the local community. The disproportionate use of Taser against black people, which is seen nationally, means it is especially important for the police to be able to justify the use of Taser in cases like this. In cases against black people, she means. Fuck the white man. While the evidence in this investigation showed officers had acted in accordance with the relevant policies, guidance and procedures, we identified ways the force could improve the response to similar situations in future and welcome the progress made to address them. It is particularly pleasing that national training for officers equipped with tasers will now include specific learning to assist in cases where a child is present. Not using one on a child. There is no doubt tasers are a valuable tool for keeping both the public and police safe in dangerous circumstances, but the public needs to be reassured it is being used appropriately. Our recommendations are aimed at ensuring officers are equipped to make the right decisions and that communities can better understand them. In a statement, Greater Manchester Police said, "We acknowledge the publication of the IOPC's report, but due to ongoing proceedings, it would be inappropriate to comment further at this time." Oh, folks, I mean, only time will tell whether this makes any difference. It's my bet that it won't, but we'll have to wait and see. But what does piss me off, or two things that piss me off, is number one, I know it doesn't make reference to holding police officers to account who do misuse the Taser. And number two, the fact that it's targeted at using the Taser on minority groups. Calling people minority groups in itself should be racist. We are all human beings. We are all part of one big group. Can we not just start treating people exactly the same? Black, white, yellow, green. I don't give a toss. But we should be considering all of the laws, all of the training to be against everybody as a whole, not as individual subsections of society. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.